Hello class. Today we will begin with the first chapter of Business Studies book first, Nature and Significance of Management. While doing this chapter, we will learn various concepts like the concept of management, the characteristics of management, the various objectives of management, why is management important or needed, the nature of management, whether it is an art or science. Is it recognized as a full-fledged profession? If not, why? Then, the various levels involved in management, the functions which are a part of management, which makes it a process, and the very essence of management known as coordination. So, that was the learning outcome of this chapter. To begin with, let me make you understand what is management. Class, let us now discuss about the objectives of management. Before getting into the detail of it, first we need to understand what is an objective. Children, as you can see that we are having these online classes. So what do you think is the idea behind it? The idea is to ensure a teaching learning program, and even if we are not able to be there in the school physically, to ensure that we do not miss out on our studies. So all this which we are wanting, we are desiring to achieve, is what is the objective behind these online classes, right? So you can understand objective as something which the management seeks to achieve as the desired result of any activity. An objective basically provides the base of management as well. These objectives are divided into three different parts. To begin with, organizational objective. Organizational objective, basically, children, refers to the very purpose for the existence of a business. See, we already know that management helps in achieving the multiple objectives of an organization. But the basic objective of every business is to earn profit. We have heard this statement, right? That the motive of business is to earn profit. So when we are earning profit and when we are doing a business, there are many people who are affected with the decisions that we are taking, with our economical status, because they are the stakeholders in our business. These are the people like shareholders. See, for example, if my business is doing wonderfully, the value of my shares would increase, which will lead to the prosperity of the shareholders, which will increase their wealth. If the organization is really doing good, it would like to share its growth and benefit with the employees by giving them increased remuneration. If the business is doing wonderfully, it will try to ensure quality products to the customers at reasonable prices. If the organization is doing very wonderfully, it will be in a position to make profit, and on that profit it will be paying tax to the government, so adding to the wealth of the nation. Overall, organizational objectives means the economic objectives of a business, which are broadly categorized into three parts. A, survival. Children, obviously, the main objective of every organization is to be able to cover its cost. Why? Because it can continue being there in the business, being there in the market only when it can cover up the cost that it is incurring for doing that business, right? But this is actually the initial stage of any business, because ultimately it has to ensure that it earns profit, and profit is the difference between the revenue and the cost. This profit gives a business the capacity to take risk. This profit yields to the possibilities where the business earns reward for taking the risk. And these profits help the business to grow. And grow how? By increasing the size and area of operations. Children, profit is also known as a vital incentive. Why? Because unless you continue making profit, you cannot assure to continue your operations. So you can continue your business only when you are in a position to make profit. And these profits, when put in the right direction, help you expand your business by increasing its size, which are indicated in many ways. Like, say for example, the growth of a business can be measured with the increase in its number of employees, like, or with the increase in the number of products, with the increase in the sales volume, that means the total sales that is happening in that particular business, or by the way, in the terms, the capital investment made by the business. These are the indicators of the growth. So, say for example, you take the example of an upcoming institution, and you soon find that that institution has been able to earn a goodwill in the market. People talk good about it, and you find that it has now launched another branch of it in somewhere in the other part of the city. This means that that institution is growing. Why? Because it is increasing its size, it's increasing its area of operation. So it is opening new avenues to make more money. Because with new outlets, it has more possibility to earn profit. So in sum total, organizational objectives are the economic objectives of a business which take care of the interest of the shareholders. That means the decisions taken in organizational objective ensures that the business copes up in the competitive market and survives. And after overcoming the initial stage, it reaches a stage where it is settled and it's earning enough profit, with the profit can be plotted in terms of its expansion and ensure the growth of that organization. So that is organizational objective. Next is the social objective. Children, we know that every business which is running uses the resources provided by society. So it is the obligation of the business to work for the benefit of the society. And how can a business provide benefit to the society? It can provide benefit to the society in many ways. In fact, in a simpler way, say for example, by providing employment, by adapting healthy labor practices, contributing to civic amenities, say for example, in the form of opening schools or running hospitals. And apart from that, by providing quality goods to the customers, by providing fair deals. These are how, when you run your business ethically and you take care of your society where you operate, you fulfill the social objective. Then comes the individual or personal objective. As the term suggests itself, children, every individual has different needs. And when you talk about which need motivates an individual can be different from what motivates other individual. Say for example, if Ram is motivated through financial needs, Sham might have interest in social needs. That means he might be motivated through peer recognition, through self-esteem, whereas Ram gets motivated with an increment in his salary and he is not bothered about being recognized by his peer group. So there are many needs of different kinds which motivates an individual. Categorically, when you talk about financial needs, it talks about competitive salary and perks. When you talk about social needs, it talks about recognition and self-esteem. There is higher level needs also, where you want to grow in the organization. How? By availing career advancement opportunities, where you get motivated when your organization is sending you for any training or any such program which is adding to your personal acumen. So these needs, when fulfilled by management, they com comply with the individual or the personal objectives of the organization. Children, it is equally important to understand that why are we discussing this personal objective? You must understand that it is only when an individual is happy and satisfied and feels motivated, he or she is able to give his 100% at his work. So that's why where a smart manager identifies the individual needs and tries to fulfill those individual needs and develop organizational needs in such a manner that if the individual work towards the achievement of organizational needs, the individual simultaneously overcomes his personal needs also. Say for example, I was talking about Ram, who gets motivated with financial needs. That is the competitive salary, increase in his salary, and he's not concerned about peer recognition. So if as a team member, Ram is very committed and is delivering 100% at his work, and ultimately this leads to the achievement of organizational goal, and the organization identifies his efforts and give him an increment. This increment has fulfilled his personal objective via his commitment or his service towards the organizational objective. So children, I hope we are able to understand the objectives of management, which are first the organizational objective, that's the economic objective. Secondly, the social objective, that's the obligation of the organization towards the society where it works for the benefit of the society. And third is the personal objective, where the organization takes care of every individual and ensures that individual needs in the form of financial, social, or higher level needs are equally taken care of. Children, for your reference, I'll quote a case and just see if you're able to correlate with this understanding of the slides that we just did. There's this Surya Power Limited is a company, say for example, and this factory is manufacturing solar lanterns in a remote village. Um, this village does not have electricity facility, so this idea of manufacturing solar lanterns is doing very well with this company Surya Limited. And then now this company is earning good revenue. So the company decides to increase the production of these solar lanterns. The intention behind increasing the production is to generate higher sales, which will ultimately lead to higher profits. And for this, they decided to employ people from the nearby village itself. So by employing the nearby people, what is this organization is doing? They are providing job opportunities, isn't it? So with this case, if you're asked to identify and explain objectives of management with reference to the case, children, I hope you can figure out that the first objective referred here is the organizational objective. Why? Because it talks about increasing the production. And what is the intention behind increasing the production? To generate higher sales. So the first objective is the organizational objective. Okay. And if you are asked to identify the subcategory of the organizational objective, which one is that? The growth factor, where it is increasing its production. Okay. And the second objective that you may identify here is that this Surya Limited is trying to provide job opportunities. So when the company is taking care of employment opportunities, it's providing employment opportunities, what is it doing? It is some way serving the society. So the second objective referred here is social objective. This was just an example, like what kind of case studies you happen to get from this particular topic that we have had a glance on. With this, I expect that you could relate with the slides as explained. And now we'll move to class. This slide talks about importance of management. And this will really help us correlate with the understanding that we have developed by far. The first importance, as written, highlights about how management helps in achieving group goals. I hope you all are now clear about what do you mean by goals. Say for example, if I ask you, what is the goal behind these online classes that we are having right now? What should be your answer like? The goal is to support teaching learning program, isn't it? So that our studies do not get hampered and we continue with our course in business studies. So these are the various answers. I hope so. So these are basically our goals. That is the end results that we want to achieve. So management helps by setting these goals and ensuring the means, the resources through which we can achieve those goals. And a manager gives directions and helps to achieve these goals. So the first importance of management is that it helps in achieving group goals. Secondly, management increases efficiency. Class, we know that efficiency is highlighted with the reference of minimizing the cost or making optimum utilization of resources. So when we talks about the importance of management, we know that management is made up of integrated and interrelated functions like planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. And these functions are separate functions which happen simultaneously, but they are interrelated because one function leads to the other function. And what is the idea behind these functions is to ensure that there is no repetition of any activity, that each function takes care of a separate activity. When we talk about planning, it talks about uh, thinking about future, forecasting future, anticipating some activities in future, and then in accordance to that, developing your course of action. When we talk about organizing, we talk about creating organizational structure, creating authority responsibility relationship, and Then we create departments and assign duties. That's through organizing. Through staffing, we try to find out that we have enough manpower with us, and we ensure that we have the right person for the right job. Through directing, we start initiating action where we try to execute whatever we planned. And then through controlling, we try to conform to the plans that we made. That means we try to check if we are moving in the same direction as planned, or if in case if there is any kind of deviation, if we are lacking, we try to take corrective action to improve our performance. So all these functions together help us reduce the cost. And when we are taking care of the cost, we are keeping our cost control, that ultimately leads to get higher profits. Therefore, the second importance of management is that management increases our efficiency, because the aim of a manager is to reduce the cost and to increase the productivity, and that is done how? Through using the various functions of management for improved performance of an organization. Come to the third point of importance, which is how management helps in achieving personal objective. Children, just in the previous slide, we came across that how management handles a group of individuals, because we have learned from the definition of management that to manage is to get work done through others. And here, all these people who form a team have different objectives as an individual. And what does a manager do? A manager tries to identify these personal objectives of individuals and strike a balance between these individual goals or personal goals and the organizational goals. A managers a manager keeps his team motivated, and with good leadership, he helps his team to move in a common direction where people with diverse needs and different objectives work together as a team, and the successful achievement of organizational goals make them achieve their individual goals also. That is where we say that uh, uh, management has to reconcile personal goals with the organizational objectives. So this is how management helps in achieving personal objectives. Move to the next importance, which is management creates dynamic organization. When I think we have already discussed this term in detail, but to rephrase, I'll say that as the environment where a business operates keeps on changing, so management facilitates a business to quickly adapt to the changes happening in the environment and to upgrade itself in accordance with the changes happening in the environment. And as soon as a business adapt itself with the changes happening, the business is able to, deliver up to the expectation of the customer, or be remain competitive in the business. And when you till you remain competitive in business, you are at a position where you are capable of taking benefit of the changes happening outside in the business. So management creates an organization, such a dynamic organization, that no matter whatever kind of changes happen outside, management keeps the organization ready to adapt itself with the changes happening, or to upgrade itself, or to change its mode of operation with reference to the changes happening outside. So management helps an organization to remain in the competition by being dynamic, being flexible towards the changes. And the last point, which says that management develops society. Obviously, children, we just emphasized on this particular importance through social objective, where we know that every business runs by using the resources provided by the society. So this is the moral obligation of every business to give society something in return. That means to work for the benefit for the society. And how does a good management helps towards the development of society? By various means we just discussed. That means by providing good quality products, by creating employment opportunities, by adapting new technology. It can add to its performance, and when it keeps performing wonderfully, it keeps on earning profit, and out of that profit it pays tax to the government, so contributes to the nation building. Then it may contribute to the society by developing the society in terms of providing civic amenities as discussed, say for by building schools, hospitals, roads, by also taking care of the environment, and getting into production process which is environment friendly, or safe disposal management. So all these things which a business does, not with a motive to earn profit but with a motive to serve society, is where the importance of management lies, that management develops the society. With this, children, I hope we are able to have an understanding about how is the management important to us and in what various ways it proves its importance. To rephrase, it helps in achieving group goals, it increases the efficiency of business, it helps in achieving personal objective, it creates dynamic organization, and it develops society. Thank you. I'll be waiting for your feedback, whether you like this session, whether there was anything that you want to be worked out, any feedback to improve these presentations further, or if you want me to slow down, if speed is an issue, anything, any suggestion which can add to the value of these slides. I hope you are able to understand it. I'm trying to keep it simple. Do provide your feedback, and don't think twice if you have a query. I'll love to sort it out. Take care, stay safe.